What's going on, guys? This is Vince with vshred.com, and in today's video I got 6 of the best trap exercises for you to help you get bigger shoulders. All right, like I said, today's video is going to be a couple of different exercises that are going to be great for anybody who is trying to build their traps up nice and big, because obviously we've all heard that you can just go do some dumbbell shrugs, but maybe that's not doing it for you and you're looking for an exercise that's really going to take things up a notch and really start to get you some results so that this muscle that's connecting your shoulder to your neck can look a little bit bigger and you can look a little more aesthetic and more muscular from it. So these exercises are going to help you out in that sense. Now, I will say, if you are trying to build some bigger traps, build some bigger shoulders, one of the most important things that you got to do is make sure that your overall training and also your diet is tuned just right so that you can actually get the results that you're looking for. And a lot of times it's a lot easier than people think, but you need to know what your body type is. It's the number one thing that I preach about. I've helped over 1 million people get in shape, and it's all come down to helping them identify what they need to do depending on what shape they're in and what their specific goals are. If you're wanting to get in shape, whether it's to lose 10 pounds, whether it's to bulk up 5 pounds, whether it's to lose 50 pounds, you need to know what your body type is, and I have a free quiz that tells you, and it's right below this video. All you have to do is take it and watch the video at the end, and that's it. So check that out. And now let's get into these exercises. So first, I have a barbell right below me, and I've made videos about how I do like dumbbell shrugs a lot, but today we're gonna be changing things up, and we're not just gonna do a regular standing dumbbell shrug because you've probably tried that before. First exercise today is actually going to be a wide grip barbell shrug. And now the main reason is because with your traps, you obviously know what your traps are. You have this muscle that's running from your shoulder up to your neck, but then it also runs back behind you. And then there's 3 parts to it really. You have your upper trap, which is the part that you see from the front. Then you have a middle trap, and then you also have a lower trap portion, which runs down the center of your back a little bit. And so what you have to understand is that these muscle fibers are going to run in slightly different angles as they go down your body. So starting off with that upper trap portion, we're going to be doing these wide grip barbell shrugs. And the reason that we're doing this is because as you shrug, and as you do any exercise, you always want to go in line with those muscle fibers so that you are shortening the muscle fiber and lengthening the muscle fiber as much as possible. And when you're just doing regular dumbbell shrugs and you're just shrugging this weight straight up, you're not necessarily going in line with those muscle fibers in that upper trap. So here what we're doing is we're putting our arms out to an angle, and then as we shrug here, now we are shrugging more inward, which is going to be more in line with that upper trap. And also another thing that you want to do is as you shrug this up, you also want to retract your scapula, because one of the functions of the trap is to retract your shoulders. So rolling your shoulders back as you shrug this weight up is really going to allow you to crush that upper trap more than just doing close shrugs like this, where you're just going straight up. By having it out at an angle and basically shrugging up at basically in line with those muscle fibers, you're going to allow your muscle to be hit a little more optimally and just change up your training from what your muscles are used to. So that's going to be exercise number 1. All right, so exercise number 2, and this is going to be similar to that wide grip barbell shrug, but let's say you don't want to use a barbell, or you're at a gym, maybe you're at a hotel gym or an apartment gym and you don't have a barbell. This is a great variation if you have a cable, because we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be putting the cable down to the bottom, and we're basically going to be doing an angled cable shrug, and it's going to be working the exact same way because we are going to be shrugging up at an angle. So like I said, you put it down to the bottom, And then what you're going to do is step away from this and get into a nice strong position. You like to spread your feet so that you can actually hold yourself steady right here. And then what you're going to do is allow your shoulder to travel as far away from your body as possible. So you really want to try to get a stretch in that shoulder. And then as you start really getting that stretch, that's when you're going to want to pull this up at an angle using your trap muscle, using your shoulders here. You're not putting any kind of bend in your elbow. And then you're going to take this and you're going to shrug up as high as you can. But like I said last time, or on the last exercise, you also want to retract. So you're not just shrugging up. You're not just doing this. That's good, but to take it to the next level, you're also going to retract your scapula. So you're going to be pulling it back like this, and by pulling it back at that angle, you're going to be smashing that trap muscle from the perfect angle because you're going in line with those muscle fibers. So that's exercise number 2. All right, exercise number 3, I'm sitting down on a bench and I do have a pair of dumbbells in front of me. Now I said I'm not just gonna be doing any regular standing dumbbell shrugs. This is going to be a slight variation of a dumbbell shrug. And what we're going to do is basically take out the part that most people fail at taking out, and that is the lower body portion of the exercise. Because when you see somebody going to do shrugs, you see them going really heavy and you see them bouncing with, I'll actually stand up, you see them bouncing with their legs, and so they're getting this weight and they're going just like that. And so that's one thing we're going to take out of it. We're going to be sitting on a bench, and by sitting on the bench, you're completely taking out your lower body. So there's no momentum being carried from your lower body to help you get that weight up. So that's one thing, but we're also going to be doing shrug pauses. And shrug pauses are probably one of my favorite things to do for traps, simply because it just takes the exercise to a whole new level. And I'll show you what I mean. So right here, first things first, like I said, I'm seated, so I'm not getting any kind of momentum from my lower body. So when I do shrug this weight up, I'm using all trap. But rather than just going like that and just getting that kind of twitchy movement, you're going to shrug up, and then you're going to hold that for a second, and then you're going to release back down. You're going to shrug up, hold that for a second, and release back down. And remember, you're also not shrugging forward at all. You want to, if anything, you can shrug straight up, but if you want to really take it to the next level, like I said, one of the functions of the traps is that retraction. So shrug up and also shrug or roll your shoulders back. And by doing both of those, that's going to help you hit that trap as best as possible while taking out the lower body portion so that there's no momentum being carried into your upper body, and you're using all trap muscle to get that weight up. So that's exercise number 3. All right, exercise number 4, stepping over to the cable machine again. This is a great one. And so the first couple that we just did were great for the upper portion of the trap, that portion that you really see from the front. This exercise is going to move down the trap a little bit to that middle portion of it, because the muscle fibers now are no longer running up at an angle. They're going to run a little more horizontal. So what that means is that you want to do an exercise that's really going to work that muscle horizontally. You're going to be shortening that muscle horizontally and then lengthening it horizontally. And that's a perfect way, or what's a perfect exercise to do that is going to be a cable T-raise. And so these are just going to be basically, you're going to take these 2 cables, and I have it very light here. I have both of these at 10 pounds. You could maybe go up to 20. You're not going to go super heavy on this because you want to really focus on form and getting that squeeze. I also don't have any attachment on it. This is just, I like to grab this little black ball here and hold just like that, and that gives me the perfect grip that I need for this. And then from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to step back a little bit, because I do want this in front of my body. I don't want this back here, because then when I pull it back, it's going to be all up in my neck. So stepping back a little bit, I'm going to keep this in front of me, and then this is going to be the starting position. You're not going to go way over here. Starting position is going to be straight out in front of you, and then you're going to retract your scapula, because that's what that trap does, or one of the things that the trap does. And then you're going to bring this weight back, really focusing on the squeeze of that middle back. So the middle back area, you're going to feel it back there in that trap. And by doing this properly, you're really going to feel that middle trap get a nice deep contraction just from shortening it. So coming out in front of you, and then you're stopping right when your arms are just about inside of shoulder width, keeping those shoulders rolled back, pulling it back, squeezing, and then your stopping position is gonna be with your elbow straight out to the side. You're not trying to go way back behind you. You're stopping when they're out to the side, keeping those shoulders rolled back, and just doing this over and over, nice and controlled. And by pulling this from straight out in front of you to straight out to the side, you're hitting that trap in the exact, or that middle trap in the exact angle that it needs to be hit in order to develop that part of the muscle. So that's gonna be exercise number 4. All right, exercise number 5, and we're gonna stay on the cable, but again, we're gonna be moving down the trap to the lower portion of it. So we started at the top, hitting it at an angle, then we move to the middle portion, going at it straight horizontally. Now, as you go into the lower trap, the muscle fibers are gonna be running a little more vertical than they did with the middle trap. So what you wanna do is basically hit that at a little more vertical of an angle, and what we're gonna be doing is a cable Y raise. So here I have the cable attachment at the very bottom, and I just have 2 handles on it here. And these are a little bit longer of handles because my hands are going to be coming, so I'm gonna be starting at the bottom and my hands are gonna be coming a little bit apart at the top. And also you're gonna go very light here. You do not need to be going heavy here. Your lower trap is going to get worked as long as you are focusing on good form, good, slow, controlled form here. So what you're gonna do is have these handles out in front of you, palms facing down. From there, you're going to retract your scapula, and then from there, you're going to take this weight, keeping your arms not locked out, but straight out in front of you. You're going to bring these straight up and bring them as far back as you can. So you're aiming to get this so that your arm is in line with your body. You're not trying to go way back here, but you're also not stopping right here. You're bringing this straight up, in line with your body, keeping your shoulders retracted and then also pressed down. You don't want to be shrugging up as you do this because we are trying to hit that lower portion of the trap. So retracted, pressed down, and as you go all the way up, you're controlling it on the way back down. Just like this is going to be working that lower trap because it has to stabilize your shoulder in order to do this movement. So just by going up and down and going at this specific angle, you're working that lower portion of the trap, which runs down that middle portion of your back and really makes your inner back look just that more ripped. So really focus on form, not going heavy. That was about 10 pounds, and if you're going for 12 to 15 reps, 10 pounds is probably gonna be enough for you unless you're just some jacked person and you wanna bump up to 20 whole pounds. But you really want to focus on form and getting that weight, keeping it out in front of you, going straight up, and then getting in line with your body, feeling a nice contraction in your shoulders as you do this, and keeping your shoulder stable. Your lower trap is going to be worked by keeping your shoulder stable throughout this movement. So that's exercise number 5. All right, the 6th and final exercise for your traps, and this one is going to be a little bit more about explosive movements because yes, slow and controlled is a great way of working any muscle, but getting those explosive movements in there is also going to help because you can overload the muscle so much more with those explosive type exercises. And this one is going to be just a little, what I like to call shrug clean. And so we all know about hang cleans when you are bringing this weight up, flipping under, and then squatting down into it and squatting back up. Well, here what we're gonna be doing is focusing on using our traps to shrug up and really trying to get that up as high as you can. And yes, you're gonna be creating a little bit of momentum with your lower body, but you're also gonna have more weight on it than no weight. I'm just using no weight to show you guys. And what you're going to do is shrug this up as high as you can, and then as you get this as high as you can, yes, your elbows are gonna come up a little bit, and then you're going to flip your arms up under this bar and then drop it back down. So shrugging, flipping under, dropping back down. Shrugging, and that's all you're gonna do right there. Shrugging up as high as you can every single time, and then the more weight that you have on it, you're gonna be having this explosive type work on your traps, because every single time you're going to do this clean, you are shrugging up explosively and as high as you can to try to get that bar up as high as you can before you have to lift your elbows and flip under. And that's going to, and this is honestly one of my favorite trap exercises just to finish off a shoulder workout with, because it gets the most insane pump, it fatigues the crap out of your traps, and it just simply works. So try out one of these exercises. Let me know down in the comment section what your favorite trap exercise is. Also, make sure you're clicking that thumbs up button below if you did like this video, and if you're gonna use any of these exercises. Also, make sure you guys are smashing that subscribe button. I get a lot of viewers who just watch these videos but aren't subscribed, and they miss out on tons of free content that I'm constantly putting out. So make sure you're joining the vshred fam here on YouTube. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.